Thank you, Mike. It's been a blast, and they're moving into line. Hoist the Gold coming up. Here's Elite Power in the Juddmonk colors. 3 Technique going in. And Gunite completes the line. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint. And Speedboat Beach, like a rocket, opens up a length and a half immediately. Gunite is up close in the early going, and here's Nakatomi firing through to challenge Speedboat Beach for early supremacy. And then it's Hoist the Gold racing in between horses. Dr. Shivel is at the rail, just about 2.5 lengths off the pace. The Chosen Vron, the California bred, has 3 to make up. He is just in front of Elite Power, who is kept wide, but very close to the pace, just about 4 lengths off them with 3 furlongs to run as the field moves around the far turn. 3 Technique is at the back of the field. Speedboat Beach is the leader. Gunite pressing, and Elite Power making his presence felt with a 3-wide bid. As the field turns for home, Dr. Shivel is next, and then the Chosen Bronze. Speedboat Beach comes to the 8th pole in front of Gunite, who's trying his best. Nakatomi and Elite Power is cut loose now, and Elite Power runs right by, and he's going to defend his championship. What a magnificent sprinter Elite Power is, as he rolls home in the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint. Gunite, Nakatomi, Speedboat Beach were left in his wake, and what a day for Curlin, the dirt mile, the distaff, and now the sprint with Elite Power.
What a performance here at 8-5. As billed, a repeat performance in the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint from Elite Power.
Make it now 3 on the weekend for the Hall of Famer Bill Mott, as he brings back Elite Power to defend his title. And Michelle, he had to run contrary to his own style today. He was chasing to keep up with these horses, and he was wide throughout this race. A dominant victory for Elite Power when you consider the way the race was won and where he was.
To me, this was a masterful ride by Irad. Like you said, he was out of his element a little bit, being pushed along. Speedboat Beach was going pretty effortlessly up front, and he was asking Elite Power the whole race, just stay close, buddy, stay in touch. But he had so much left over in the tank. Gunite going to be on the wrong lead here. I certainly think that cost him a little bit, but obviously he was no match for an eased up winner here. Very happy to see Elite Power double up in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
ISO replay of your eventual winner and repeat Breeders' Cup Sprint champion, Elite Power, as he makes his move through the field.
And I thought it was key that he made the move right here, because you know, as they're turning for home, and you don't know how much Speedboat Beach has left. As soon as you let him scoot clear as they hit the quarter pole, you're immediately that much further behind the 8 ball. He had to go at that point as Gunite was starting to take it to the pace setter, so that he had those 2 within his sights.
Look at him. As soon as he switches leads here, he is all pro. He's just going to pour on an entire another gear here. This horse also does a lot of good running on the turn. For a horse as big as he is certainly agile.
All East Coast in that trifecta as well. Elite Power, Gunite,
and my Nakatomi. And a high five to all of us for not saying the word plaza after Nakatomi, which was really hard to do.
What is Nakatomi Plaza?
Have you never seen Die Hard with Bruce Willis?
No,
the greatest
Mike,
Christmas movie ever made. It all took place at Nakatomi Plaza. I can't believe I'm having this conversation. There's a look at Elite Power, your Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint champion. Cheers to the Alpha Delta Stables LLC. And that is 3 Breeders' Cup victories for not only the sire Curlin, that is 3 for Bill Mott, that is 3 for Irad Ortiz. Threes are wild here.
Threes are wild. We also saw a big day for the sire Justify yesterday, siring a pair of our juvenile winners as well. Some of the top stallions in the country performing on this Breeders' Cup weekend. And Irad Ortiz Jr. proving his versatility today. You know, in addition to those 3 wins, he had a couple very narrow defeats too, and put his horses in the position to win. Horses like Up to the Mark. He was right there for a few others. A stellar weekend for our perennial leading rider in the country, multiple Eclipse Award winning rider, as he's being interviewed on the way back once more here today at the Breeders' Cup.
It's one of those times where the Breeders' Cup has actually exceeded expectation. We came in to this weekend expecting to see greatness, as we always do. But the tightness of the competition, the repeat champions, the stories that all played out the way they did, it has just been one race after another that we will think about for years to come. Just the memories that have been made here this weekend have been tremendous.
One more look from overhead with the drone. There's a look at Elite Power with that big white blaze towards the outside in the Juddmonte Silks. He's going to go ahead and circle up around these top 2 pace setters as he heads on for home to pick up this victory. And I think the repeat winners, Michelle, brings fans back, doesn't it? People that, especially stories like Cody's Wish, this horse coming back and winning again. Good Night All of Us, steady and consistent as she is. Horses that continue to perform at the highest levels. It's easy for the fans to latch on to and to follow and to want to come back and watch them compete again.
Well, I think we were talking about Bill Mott earlier and his prowess with horses and how he wants to remain a top 10 trainer. I think one of the reasons he's able to do that year in and year out is because he keeps his stable stars around. You talk about Elite Power, he's 5 years old. You talk about Cody's Wish, he's older. Casa Creed, I mean, he's 7 years old. He's still knocking around, winning grade ones.
That third place effort
Leon
today.
Seidler was beside himself earlier on today. So that's one of the things that keeps us coming back, and that's why Bill Mott's so good, though, is because he's able to keep these horses going at these older ages. It's not just you're 3, you've won your race, and we send you after the breeding shed. Unfortunately, we are going to be losing a lot of these stars to the breeding shed, but these particular horses, Elite Power and Cody's Wish, I feel like these are horses we want to see in the breeding shed if we want to develop the thoroughbred breed. They are durable, they are fast, they just look like racehorses. They look very substantial, and they were able to carry out a very high level of competition over multiple years.
Through their 5-year-old campaign. Those are the years that you want to see. 4,
Yes,
5, 6. That's when a racehorse really hits their prime.
Absolutely.
And you want to talk about a prime racehorse here. Look at Elite Power. And let's go back to Speedboat Beach. We saw this earlier today. We saw National Treasure, right? Like, what is he going to do? Arabian Night. What are they going to do if they were to race into their 4-year-old? These are 3-year-olds. Speedboat Beach, he ran a brilliant race. I'd love to see him come back at age 4. Think about the difference between a horse like Gunrunner. He also ran in the grade 1s as a 3-year-old. He was a champion as an older horse. He was a Breeders' Cup Classic winner as an older horse.
And look at horses like Curlin, same thing. I mean, he was good at 3. He got better at 4 and better at 5.
And his progeny are the same. They just keep getting better year after year as they get older, too.
It's an absolute testament to some of these horses, and this is the bloodline we want to continue with.
And Bill Mott with Elite Power. This is his 13th career start, his 9th career victory, his 2nd win in the Qatar Racing Breeders' Cup Sprint. You can see Bill there as they pose for the picture. This one for the Juddmonte stable out of a Vindication mare, Broadway's Alibi, a $900,000 yearling purchase in the Keeneland September sale of 2019. With that victory here, the earnings go well above $3 million.
Big day for Juddmonte as well. They were also victorious with Idiomatic today.
It's actually close to $4 million. They're just shy of $4 million here. It's going to be